Hello and welcome back to the channel for another College TF review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Leo Prime. And this guy's definitely been a highly anticipated release, and let's take a look at him. Really excited to finally get my hands on him. I got him from All Time Toy Store. Check out the link in the description below to pick up yours. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and keeps these reviews coming. So let's start by taking a look at the packaging. We have Leo Prime in his lion mode there on the front, looking pretty cool. Of course, your Legacy Evolution art, box art showing his Evo Fusion gimmicks. Of course, we'll get into that. And some more cool art of Prime on the side. Top, bottom, pretty straightforward. You do get instructions as well, of course. They are a bit convoluted, I would say, as typical from Hasbro instructions. They're definitely more complicated than they need to be, as you can see. But it does showcase both transformation, or sorry, it shows this is all just from robot to lion mode. But it does show all the different gimmicks that this guy has. So that's pretty cool. And of course, let's take a look at Leo Prime himself. Very nice detailing there on the face, you can see. Really nice paint. They use like a shiny blue paint on his face. Looks very metallic. Nice silver paint as well. Lots of nice blue and red. Some gold in there as well. Giant lion head, which looks a little bit lifeless, the way it doesn't have any pupils, but painted nose. See the Maxwell symbol there. Red kneecaps, gold toes, more gunmetal coloring. Overall, looks pretty nice, I would say. Definitely a very different robot mode design I'm not as familiar with, but I thought he looks pretty cool, so why not pick him up? You can also see there's some silver detailing on the inside there. Pretty cool mechanical look. Very, very awesome. And now in terms of articulation, this guy is pretty good, considering how much stuff he's got going on. So you do get a ball joint at the head, rotate full 360, you can look up, sort of, look down, sort of, not really. It's really just the turning side to side, but that's fine. Then at the shoulders, this is where it gets a little weird, and we'll do both sides. So you can go out all the way, and you can maneuver these shoulder pads out of the way, so you can keep that. This is the maximum range of that hinge, but you can maneuver these out of the way too, and they kind of hinge all over the place, so you have all that extra motion. You probably can't quite a full 360 out of the arm, but you can get it. So definitely sufficient range forward and back. You get nice 90 at the elbow, and then unfortunately no kind of wrist rotation. The other side is very similar, but now you have a giant lion face in the way, so you can only really go up to about there on that side. Then you can still go the same forward and back, just about. So pretty good, again 90 there. Then you also get all this arm stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit when we showcase his Evo Fusion gimmicks. He does have a waist rotation, and this is not used in transformation, so it is just there to be accurate articulation, which is very nice. And we do get kick forward to a nice degree. You can also kick back, which is unhindered. Surprisingly, his back kibble is actually fairly minimal, so that's good. Then we can kick out. We can do the splits, no problem. We do get nice even 90 degrees, and then very good ankle rock. So pretty good articulation. So I forgot to put out his heel spurs here. He does also have heel spurs. And they're nice and tight. There we go. That may have been why he wasn't standing up so well, but there we go. So you got heel spurs as well. Oh, very nicely articulated overall for having so much ridiculousness going on. Then he does, of course, have his, I don't know what you call that, matrix, I guess. Yeah, so that's there, and I believe that is blast effect compatible. So if you wanted to add blast effects onto it, you could go for that. Now, in terms of some of his Evo Fusion gimmicks, if you flip out the lion mane here, it does reveal these two cannons, which of course are packaged separately, but they can attach there. And so you can have that going on, and then you can also come here, and this is where you can store the other two blasters. So just pop those out. fold that back down. And then these have 2 little tabs on them, or 1 tab on each, and this can go into slots on the main. Get that on there and on over here. Like that. And so you can have a giant shoulder main blast going on. These are all blast effect compatible as well, so you can do that if you so want, or you can flip out the main pieces on his arm here and flip out the foot of the lion, and then also come out and pull out these talons, and then we can take off these guns from the main, fold that back in, take off all these guns, and so the ones with the little tab on them can just go into the circular port on the main piece there, and then we can port in the other guns into his fists. Do the same thing on the other side. That one on there, this one on here. Flip out the lion claw. And we have full Evo Fusion Leo Prime going on. Now he's a very heavily armored, weaponized lion bot thing. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So you can do that if you would like. Now for some size comparisons, we have Optimus Prime, the Kingdom Optimus Prime. You can see Kingdom Prime is definitely still taller, G1 Prime, but that is your comparison. Very different designs, a bit hard to compare them, so there you go. And now let's get into transformation. So to begin, let's just remove all these parts, and you can store them back where I had them before, but just for the purposes so we can show the Lion Evo Fusion gimmicks off later, I'll leave them off of him for now. So to begin, this transformation is a little bit abstract, I would say, and the instructions definitely make it a little more complicated than I think it actually is. So you just want to pull the lion head away from his body like that. Just slides out a little bit, right? So robot mode is like that. Now we just want to pull it out a little bit like that. Then come down to the feet here and just fold up those talons and turn the legs around the other way. Same thing on the other side. Fold up the talons, turn the legs around. And we can keep these out for now, but we want to tuck in the fists until they collapse in. Like that. Same thing on the other side. Collapse in. Now we want to move this back piece out of the way, up a little bit, and rotate this whole chest assembly around. So we want to rotate the shoulder pads, so like that, and just kind of rotate all of that. So it looks like an exploded lion. Now I'm going to come up to the chest and just split it, open like that, and then take the head, tuck it inside. Then this whole piece, you can kind of see there's like a little half circle there, will separate from the body there. It does tab in, so just give it a little pull. And now you want to rotate it around. Oops, the head may have just popped out again. Has had a tendency to pop out on me. There we go, all right. So then rotate that around, and then just close that back up like so. Next we want to detach the shoulders here. And now it's just a matter of rotating all of this around so that it all fits in there. So what you need to do, so we do need to kind of collapse these down. I wouldn't tab them in, but just collapse these little main pieces down just so they're kind of out of the way. And then straighten out the arms. And we need to kind of align everything so that the arms, the hands tab in inside up here. So you can see there's a little slot here, and there is a tab in the lion mane there. That's where the hands need to end up. And so we gotta rotate some things around here to get everything lined up as it's supposed to be. So to begin with, in order to do that, because all this needs to collapse, we have to rotate at the shoulder here and then rotate just above the shoulder like that. And now we should be able to collapse everything inwards, and it should all kind of line up. We won't tab it in yet because we need to get the other side done, of course. So same thing on this side. Want to rotate here, the bicep, so that everything can collapse inwards like this. And just give it a squeeze until everything kind of snaps in. You need to move these legs up a little bit just so we have some working room in there. Make sure those fists stay down, and then you want to bring in these chest pieces here, and those should tab together as well, like that. And then you just want to bring these legs, and you can see we have a tab here and a slot there. That should all just tab in. Like that. And of course the hands will kind of pop out on you while you're doing this as well. It's a bit hard to see it all. There we go. So this is a bit harder to do on camera, of course. Try to get that tab in there. Let's do the other side. I'm not sure why that side doesn't want to tab in. All right, let's try this side. Go. All right, that side. There's that side. Nice. And then you just want to give those main pieces a nice squeeze. Everything should lock in. You can fold this piece down. And once you get all of that lined up, everything does tab in pretty well. Of course, now it wants to explode, but there we go. Everything's nice and secure up there. Now for the legs here, we want to rotate at the upper thigh here, then come to the knee joint, collapse it, and just kind of bend it up, kind of like Optimus Primal. And then rotate here, the lower leg, and then just bend down. And that is back leg. Same thing on the other side. Rotate, detach that knee joint, and then rotate just above the ankle. Pull that down. And then we can come here, pull out the tail, extend this piece down. That should just snap in place. And then you want to come to the front piece. That should also snap in place. And then you do the middle section. All snaps in pretty easily, pretty naturally. And just straighten everything out. Get them propped down. And here we have Leo Prime in his lion mode. And I think overall it looks pretty cool. Definitely a different take on Optimus Prime design for sure. But I think it's pretty cool. Oh, one more thing, finishing touch, of course. Fold in those heel spurs. Just keep forgetting them on this guy for some reason. There we go. Now he's done. Overall, pretty clean. I mean, you do have some red sticking out, of course, but that can't be avoided given he's only a Voyager class. So, but he is, I think, pretty awesome. Pretty nice looking robot. Now, articulation in this mode is fairly limited due to the way he transforms. So unless you untab this joint, which I'm not going to do because sometimes that causes everything to explode, well, there, so you kind of detach it, and you do get like this bit of motion out of it, but inevitably you'll probably end up causing all of this stuff to become untabbed. So in the front, he really only has up and back articulation this way, a swivel here, and that's about it. So you can kind of get him into like a walking-ish pose, but it will be a bit lopsided, that's all. Then in back, you do still have the full range just about of these joints. So you can forward and back to about there, but then you can go out to the side, so that is useful. And then you do have all of that movement there, along with the upper thigh swivel there, swivel down here, and the ankle tilt. So you do have a good bit of range of motion in back to use, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I feel like these are supposed to collapse further, but they don't on mine. They don't seem to want to go any further. It's as far as they'll go, so not gonna force it, but they do look like they're sticking out a little bit more than they're supposed to. But you can get this guy into a walking or running pose if you wanted to. Something like that. There you go. And for some size comparisons, or I should say a single size comparison, here he is with Maximal Optimus Primal. Just get a sense of his scale. You can see he is a pretty big lion, definitely. And he is bigger than Optimus Primal in robot mode, so he is still decent size Voyager. This is Kingdom Optimus Primal, of course. So there you go for that comparison. And finally, we cannot forget his Evo Fusion gimmick in Lion mode. Just get him standing a little bit straight there. So, of course, you can flip out the lion mane. In theory, there we go. And just port on those weapons again. So, of course, you could have left them ported in here for transformation. I just chose not to for the sake of the video. Same thing with this one. And it's the exact same combination as what I showed on the shoulder for the first Evo Fusion gimmick. Then just put these on the side, and you can have massive blasting mane. There you go, massive blasting mane. And of course, all Blast Effect compatible, so do have some versatility there. Overall, I think he's pretty cool. Definitely some more bizarre design aspects to this guy, but cool to see him come into the main line. And not just be like a masterpiece or Takara Tommy exclusive kind of thing. So that is pretty awesome. He's definitely really well done. You can kind of see all the texturing here on the lion body. Looks really good. And the mane, of course, looks really good. The gold paint, as do the feet. My only thing would be the lack of maybe pupils there on the eyes, but even that doesn't look too bad. He has kind of like glowing gold eyes. It looks cool. And then, his articulation is a bit limited in lion mode, but and a little bit in robot mode too, but that's just the nature of the design, so I don't think that's a fault at all to the figure itself. I think it is a fantastic figure. And overall, as a Voyager, definitely comes with, I would say, just about enough. I would have liked to see maybe if it came with something else, like maybe a blast effect in addition to these little parts, or just some other gun or sword or something. But overall, I definitely really like him. Definitely worth picking up. Definitely check out that link in the description. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you then.